Listen and repeat. Chapter 1. The Birth of Marilyn Monroe. Norma Jean Mortenson was born on June 1 in Los Angeles, California in 1926, and because she did not know her father, she took her mother's name to Norma Jean Baker. Her mother, Gladys, was suffering from mental disorders, and she ended up in a mental institution after her condition worsened. But Monroe did not forget that early stage of her life when her mother tried to strangle her with a pillow while she was in her bed. As for her sister, their relationship was not good, and she did not even meet her more than 5 times. In 1937, family friend Grace and her husband, Doc Goddard, sponsored Monroe for several years and missed her. Goddard paid approximately $25 a week to ensure Monroe's mother continued care. The Goddard were religious and strict about a lot of things, so there were many activities forbidden for Monroe, including going to the movies. But in 1942, when Mr. Goddard's business moved to the West Coast, the couple could not take Monroe with them, and she had no choice but to return to the orphanage where she had been subjected to several cases of sexual harassment, and found only marriage to get rid of her life there. Monroe married her boyfriend Jimmy Doherty on June 19, 1942, at the age of 16. At that time, Monroe dropped out of high school, her husband moved to the South Pacific, and Monroe began working in a war munitions factory in Van Nuys, California, where she was discovered by a photographer. In 1946, when Doherty returned, Monroe had become a successful model and changed her name to Marilyn Monroe as a prelude to the acting career she had always dreamed of. Chapter 2. Marilyn Monroe's Personal Life. Monroe's personal life has seen a series of failed marriages and love relationships, including her 1954 marriage to baseball legend Joey DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio lasted only 9 months. She also married playwright Arthur Miller from 1956 to 1961. Rumors of an affair with President John Kennedy even sang Happy Birthday, Mr. President, for him on his birthday, a very magical performance. As for Marilyn Monroe's religion, beliefs, and original cast, she was born to a Jewish family. Chapter 3. Facts about Marilyn Monroe. Although diamonds and sparkling jewelry were the main part of her figure and images, she did not like it and preferred to wear a simple pearl necklace. She had stuttering when she was young and the condition disappeared with age, but this condition returned in some stressful situations. In literature, Marilyn preferred Fyodor Dostoevsky, George Bernard Shaw, Jerome Salinger, Ernest Hemingway, Leo Tolstoy, Mark Twain, and others. The blonde girl was not stupid at all. In music, she loved Beethoven, Mozart, and Louis Armstrong. Marilyn dreamed a lot of becoming a mother when she married Arthur Miller, but unfortunately her attempts ended in ectopic pregnancies and miscarriages, leaving her suffering from difficult psychological conditions every time. Marilyn changed her name 3 times during her career. Besides her birth name, Norma Jean Mortenson called herself many names such as Mona Monroe and Jane Adair. Despite all this fame, Marilyn's wages were much lower than what was paid to most female artists at the time. Because she was stuttering, she had great difficulty performing her scenes, and in one movie it is mentioned that uttering one sentence forced her to repeat it 60 times in a row. During her lifetime, Marilyn Monroe suffered from a number of mental illnesses such as bipolar disorder, depression, and stuttering. Monroe didn't own a house until a year before her death, and she had some strange possessions, one of which was a photo signed by Albert Einstein that read, "To Marilyn with my respect, love, and thanks." During her acting career, Monroe raised nearly $200 million, and to this day she is still considered the most famous icon of seduction. Chapter 4. Death of Marilyn Monroe. On August 5, 1962, Marilyn Monroe died at her home in Los Angeles, and she found a box of sleep aids next to her bed, and the debate remained for several years about whether she was killed or not, until the official announcement of the cause of death, which is an overdose of the drug, and rumors spread about her involvement in a relationship with President John F. Kennedy or with his brother Robert. Monroe was buried in her favorite Emilio Pucci dress, and in a coffin known at the time as the Cadillac coffin. The casket was of the latest style, made of the most precious bronze and embroidered with champagne-colored silk. Lee Strasberg gave a eulogy in the presence of a few friends and family. Publisher Hugh Hefner bought the tomb for her, and her ex-husband Joe DiMaggio kept bringing red roses to her mausoleum for 20 years.
I hope you liked the story and that you have benefited from it. Please do not forget to share it with your friends so that everyone benefits. Goodbye.